Hey folks, if you are someone that is looking at taking Social Security payments soon, or you've already started your benefit period, this video is for you. Now, I want to talk about Trump's policies and things that he might be bringing into the system. And I'm also going to include a brief explanation of what Social Security is here at the end for those that aren't familiar. But one thing I'm not going to be doing is bringing politics into this video. There's plenty of spaces on YouTube for that. And frankly, I don't care enough on that topic to bring it in. So let's start with what's going on with Social Security. So as I'm sure you've heard for a long time now, people are worried about Social Security running out. Now, why is that? Well, we're in a lot of debt as a country, and DOGE and other systems in place are currently trying to remove some of that debt, but the problem is that debt is incredibly hard to even pay the interest on currently. So they've got a long way to go in terms of getting that paid down. The reason that Social Security benefits are at risk is because there's just not enough money left in the program to fund all the people entering that period of their life. So current estimates have 2035, the year 2035, marked as the year that Social Security benefit becomes, what do they say? They always say obsolete or some scary term. That's not actually what it is. So if you go to Social Security's actual website, they will say 2035 is the year it's set to expire. But what's important to know is it's not going to be obsolete after that time. It would just be reduced. Okay, so if your payment right now represents 100% of the amount that you're receiving, in 2035, if this actually did expire, it would move down to closer to 80% of what you're currently receiving. So the program will not go entirely away. You'll just be receiving a portion of your benefit. And I know that's definitely not good. And there's a lot of things that they can do hopefully before then, but it's important that you know this is more so what that means than anything. Now, on that 80% coverage, you might be asking, well, where in the world are those dollars going to come from? And it's going to come from yours truly. It's going to be coming from people who are currently paying into the system, right? So it's going to basically be like a conveyor belt. Someone puts dollars in, boom, sent right out to people who are currently on the program. So President Trump has talked about this in great length. But I'm guessing what most of you have seen is that he's thinking about eliminating Social Security tax. Now, the reason I talk about that after I've explained this benefit piece to you is that would only accelerate the timeline in terms of lowering that amount that you're going to be receiving. So if you think about how the government makes money, the only way they can do so is by taxing you. Same at a local level, whether that's through property tax, whether that's through any type of tax that's out there. The only way the government can ever make money is to tax you, okay? So if they remove taxation from Social Security, essentially what they're doing is just making their pot of money smaller that they have to give to people in Social Security. So earlier I mentioned 2035 is marked at the year that it's set to run out, and all that would do was push that year up to maybe 2030 or even earlier. Those estimates are, of course, going to be unsure at the current time, but that is the problem with stopping all the tax on Social Security. Now, I'm not trying to be a government plant here, okay? I'm not trying to say taxes are good. It's absolutely not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that's what would occur. It is worth noting that only 85% of your Social Security benefit is taxable. So government's so friendly, they said we'll leave the remaining 15% untaxed. And another piece of that portion that I do want to talk about when we talk about Social Security taxation is that half of the people who are currently on Social Security benefit do not pay taxes at all. Again, this is another thing that is said about eliminating that Social Security tax, is it would really only be helping that top 50% of earners, right? So if you see the tax tables for the thresholds of who gets taxed on Social Security, it's only going to be people above a certain income limit. And I've got the table here, but essentially this is just going to lead into people saying that Trump's only trying to help the wealthy. So if you hear that, that's why they said that. And again, not keeping politics in this. So that's really what's going on here. That's if you have water cooler chat, that's what you need to know. For those of you who are unfamiliar with Social Security, I'll quickly kind of explain that to you and maybe even some things to think about if this does describe you, if you're thinking about planning for Social Security. the earliest you can take your Social Security benefit is 62 years old currently. So the biggest decision that people have to make at 62 is whether to turn this on or off, because once you turn it on, you can't turn it off, okay? So it's not like the faucet. You can only turn this on. Now, the biggest decision from there is seeing what your health is like, okay? So how often do I want to travel? What is my health like? What do I expect my health to be like, knowing from what my parents lived to and things along those lines? And other factors will come into play in terms of deciding if 62 is the right time for you. Now, a basic principle that's important to understand with delaying Social Security, I mean, you might be asking yourself, why would I ever wait to take money from the government? I'd take it as soon as I can, right? The longer you wait to take it, the more they will pay you on an annual or monthly basis. So the longest that it makes sense to wait is 70 years old. After you reach 70 and continue on, your benefit will no longer increase in amount that you can receive. But from 62 to 70, it will only increase your monthly or annual amount. So that's a big decision to make. That's a lot of conversations we have with clients entering Social Security, is when is the right time to do so. I wish I could explain this or help you out in a YouTube video, but unfortunately, I don't know you. I don't know your personal situation. So that's going to be a conversation you have with your financial advisor. So another question we get is, my wife didn't work. Is she able to keep claiming Social Security benefit after I pass away? Yes, she can. There is survivorship benefit. And this again is going to be dependent on how much benefit that you have, depending on when you started it, things of that nature, but she has the ability to do that. Not only that, if your spouse did not work, but you did work and you're claiming Social Security, they're actually going to have the ability to claim about 50% of your benefit as well. So it's kind of a dual system here. And that's one thing that the government did incentivize, of course, knowing that it's great for a parent to stay home and raise the child. And they try to incentivize that as much as possible. And this person can also claim benefit, okay? So that's really it on Social Security. It's a program that you paid into. If you worked for 10 years, you're entering the program, and they're gonna take 35 years of your best pay. They're going to average whatever math they put in that. We don't need to get in that in this video, but they're gonna take your 35 best years of pay, and that's how they're gonna find your benefit. You can start it at 62, the longest to wait is 70. Your spouse can take benefit, whether you're currently alive, or if you pass away, they continue to receive benefit. There's a lot of other strings that come with Social Security, but I always try to keep these videos to 7 minutes, but that is it. If you have any questions around Social Security, or if anything comes up with your retirement, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to help you. But until next time, thank you as always.